Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
He's alive!
Welcome to where the weird ones are.
Every time I speak, I want the truth to come out.
Powerful figures in Hollywood as well as powerful politicians who are in fact not human. They're reptiles or they're lizards or perhaps extraterrestrials.
I don't think it is a human. I think it's a Sasquatch.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
Let's get weird.
What's up, you fucking weirdos? Welcome to another episode of Where the Weird Ones Are. My name is Kevin, but you probably already knew that, and if you didn't, now you do. Today's episode is with author Eric Bickernicks. He's an author straight out of Cape Cod. Phenomenal energy, great personality, I think, personally. We differ on a lot of opinions and stuff, but I still think it made for a great episode. I'm not here just to talk to people who have similar opinions or views on the world. But he is an author. He's authored titles as High Strangeness and Higher Strangeness, which is a play on it's a sci-fi. They're sci-fi stories on the UFO phenomenon and conspiracies and stuff like that. But if you're interested in fictional stories, maybe you'll be interested in that. He has a great personality, and whether you like him or not, he's at the age where he just does not give a fuck. He'll tell you in this episode. So yeah, it was a fun conversation. I mean, I enjoyed it. So with that being said, I hope you guys check it out, check his books out. But if you don't, I don't think he's gonna care either way. So but I was happy to have him on. So again, it was a good conversation, I feel like. So he's pretty he's very animated. So he made me laugh a couple of times, which is I love. I really enjoy people that can make me laugh. So anywho, 410 Fest is coming up pretty quickly here. It is June 8th right here in Sanford, Maine at the Memorial Gym. Doors open at 9 a.m. I believe. Which actually, if you're interested in vending, the door is still open. I believe they're still taking vendors. But probably about 20 minutes from Sanford in Kennebunk, maybe 15 minutes. The Hampton Inn is actually doing a discount. They blocked off some rooms for vendors for the event, and they're renting out rooms at a discounted price for vendors. So if you need a room, Hampton Inn and Kennebunk is a good avenue to check out. So the event is put on by husband and wife paranormal team, Richie and Missy, Paranormal 5. They are investigators. They investigate with their 3 children, hence the name Paranormal 5. Great people. Just ran into them this weekend at the International Cryptozoology Conference, where I met a few other people. I met Jeff Foran from Strangeology for the first time in person. Great guy. Enjoy his show. So if you're looking for a podcast worth listening to, his is definitely one of them. Also ran into Alexander Petikoff. He's from Small Town Monsters. He has his YouTube channel, Bigfoot off the trail. And yeah, he was, oh, man, he was super nice. We talked for like a good like 10-15 minutes. First of all, I could tell my kids were getting bored, and then like we accumulated a line. There was a line to to see Alex, and we were just sitting there bullshitting about fucking other events and shit. But yeah, Alex is a great guy. Enjoyed talking to him. Enjoyed talking to him on the show. Um, and I met Pat Spain, which I had no idea about this guy, to be honest with you, because I don't watch TV. But he's been on the Travel Channel, the History Channel. He's had several shows where he's gone out and basically like I think the shows that he's in is Legend Hunter and something else I can't remember. But he was a nice guy. His presentation was pretty comical and very, very well done and put together. I bought one of his books actually, because he is a biologist, I think he said. Right? No, I could be wrong. Anyways, but I bought this Sea Serpents on the Hunt in British Columbia, or How I Went to the Bottom of the Ocean and a Giant Fish Accidentally Got Me Drunk. He talks about a giant fish that he found, and then he got drunk and started taking selfies with it, which was a freaking hilarious story. But he has a lot of hilarious stories, so if you ever get the chance to see him speak at an event, please do so. Great guy, very nice. And then my kids were so bored that I just ended up leaving. My son didn't mind it, but my daughter was just like, "Oh my god!" And my son really enjoyed it, so I think my son is the one that's probably going to end up tagging along mostly, but I'll give my daughter probably the opportunity to come to these things if she so pleases. But so we ended up going out to lunch right after Pat spoke, right after I bought an event t-shirt, and I got a t-shirt from Jeff, which is right here too. Fucking awesome shirt. It's really comfy too. It's very tight on the biceps, which is the kind of t-shirts that I like. Like not too tight that it like feels like it's gonna fucking rip or anything. But yeah, so that was a fantastic event to visit. We bought some shit, and yeah, I had a good time. My daughter did not. My son had an okay time, and I think that's about it. Other than, if you want to flavor up your motherfucking food and your dinners, bro, you have to check out Flavors of the Forest and get yourself some Bigfoot's breath. And it's raw, it's freeze dried raw garlic dust, and it's fucking pretty tasty. You should definitely check it out. And it's in the hot sauce, the hot lemon squeeze hot sauce. It's really fucking hot. And I am currently working on putting it on the website. I know I've said that several times, but I'm just trying to figure out, the best way to go about like the shipping and shit. So, but yeah, so go to flavorsforest.com and get yourself some bottles. Tell them I sent you. Um, Not that you'll get special treatment, but just be like, hey, man, I'm here because Kevin from Where the Weird Ones Are sent me, just so you know. But yeah, no, if you like garlic, it's really good. You're definitely going to taste it. So please, I implore you to fucking check it out. Anywho, again, Eric was an amazing guest. Really enjoyed speaking with him. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Please like, follow, share, subscribe. Leave a rating and review if you feel so inclined to do so. You can leave a rating and review on the website as well. And the website is where you can get merch and the hot sauce when it comes out. And there's a blog on there. You can also check out the gallery of people who have merch already and have sent me their photos. and the website is where the weird ones are podcast.com. If you're interested in Conspiracy Tuesdays and Storytime episodes, check out the Patreon, which is patreon.com/weirdos only. If you become a member, it is $5 a month, pretty inexpensive. You get a free coffee mug, early access to the shows, and again, Conspiracy Tuesdays and Storytime, which Storytime I am going a little bit different. I was just going to tell you stories in a story format, but I think I'm going to discuss a story with guests and get, their opinions and stuff on it. So, and there should be one coming out pretty soon with the ladies from Like Mother Like Murder. Now, if you haven't checked out Like Mother Like Murder, I can't stress to you enough how amazing these ladies are. I absolutely adore them. They're fantastic. All they want to do is help, and it's a true crime. It's a true crime podcast. I know there's like a love and hate when it comes to true crime, but these ladies do it to basically memorialize the victims. It's not about the perpetrators or whatever. It's about these people that have gone through hell and they should not have. And it's they're all about mothers there, hence the name Like Mother Like Murder. So I can't stress to you enough how amazing they are, and I'm so over the moon to be able to call them friends. So again, if you are interested in those kind of topics, definitely go check them out, show them some love, and tell them that I sent you. So, anywho, let's get into today's episode with Eric, shall we?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Let's get weird. Weird. Get weird.
Hello, we are Rachel and Heather, the hosts of Like Mother Like Murder podcast.
And you're listening to Kevin on Where the Weird Ones Are.
Oh.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. So happy that you're here. I have Eric, forgive me, is it Bickernicks?
Bickernicks, yeah.
Okay.
Close enough.
So he's an author. He has 2 books that might pique your interest, and we're going to talk about them and among other things. So Eric, if you don't mind introducing yourself to the good people and let them know a little bit about yourself.
Let me see, what the heck. Basically, I've been a filmmaker my whole life. Yeah, I've shot my big fat failed indie feature back in 2000. So I've been writing film scripts, things like that, and drifted into writing novels. And now I've pounded out 3 at this point. One of the things that they always say is like, find your voice and write what you know. And I'm like, okay, I know cryptids and I know the science behind the psychology of all this mania. So I said, all right, cool. Let me write something. The first book called High Strangeness. Basically, I make fun of the mania of the UFO sort of crowd, or the true believers out there. That it's aliens all the way down. Yep. And it's a funny book too. So I made it a point to illustrate that, like, look, here's these crazy people. The fact that the book does have an alien in it, I don't know, spoiler. Well, not really a spoiler. But it's a different. I just do a different take on an alien invasion. If you had to call it that. But yeah, just making light, a satire of the true believers out there. The mania. And that was 5 years ago, and I thought, well, all right, yeah, okay. I found just a couple dozen people that are totally into it. But again, selling a skeptical book to the crowd is a terrible thing to do. It's just like, there's no market in being skeptical about UFOs, the alien abductions, and all that. But after 5 years, it was up. It's still up on Amazon for free. So 10,500 people downloaded. I'm like, okay, then I don't think they're all bots. And I certainly had a lot of positive reviews, 300 reviews. So I wrote Higher Strangeness, basically where I have fun hammering on the conspiracy crowd. The same characters in the first book morph into sort of a, conspiracy that has descended upon Cape Cod. Both of them are sort of set on Cape Cod. Again, right where you know. And the one of these characters here, where's my notes here? Anyway, he turned into what's the guy that just got slammed? Anyway, it just basically I sort of addressed the famous types out there as other characters, so you would recognize that's so and so, within the crowd. I'm trying to it's old senior moment here. I'm like, what was I'm trying to think what the hell this what was that guy? But anyway, so 2 books done and like I said, I've lived with this stuff my whole life here. UFOs and all, and back in the day when there's only just a couple of UFO books, there was I've been there since day one. We're talking back from the 70s. And I've seen it. To me, it's just folklore. It's now turned into folklore. I'm sort of referring to just UFOs, the alien whole thing. And I've seen it go from just like 5 books and like, okay, Betty and Barney Hill, that was a big deal back in the 70s. And basically until now, it's like, it's the same story from everybody. As an example, back 30 years ago, it was always cool to say, what did that abductees, what kind of alien did that person have? Well, that one had elephant feet and floated. And that was always interesting to see what crazy alien, it's like Star Trek out there, I guess. And that basically everyone has gotten on the same page. Now it's like alien grays. No, aliens now look like one thing. It's an alien gray, and we've all come to the agreement on that. Just like, leprechauns don't exist, but we certainly have a good idea what they look like, right? Santa Claus, we all agree what it all looks like now, right? Where I remember back in the day, it's like, no, it's always cool. That's always, who knows what you're getting. To me, it looks like folklore. Now, this is completely separate. Are there actually aliens out there? Is there life out there? Did they actually make it a point to get all the way out to here? That's totally separate. Versus having extraterrestrials give you an anal probe, or actually travel that far to give us an anal probe. Right. That's where, okay, hold on, guys. Let me draw a line here between what's out there and what have they done to our rectums, basically. At this point I learned my lesson. It's kind of like it's like if I just wrote books on atheism, terrible crowd to sell to, right? Like, how many atheism books would you sell? Well, not a lot, right? But if it was all like pro aliens, Bigfoots, there's money to be had. I foolishly went in the wrong direction. So I learned my lesson. I'm now writing a psychological thriller. Yeah, right down the line. Give them what they want. So, yeah.
Nice. I like psychological thrillers. Those are...
thrillers.
Yeah. So what like is the phenomena? Is that what inspired you? Because you're skeptical and you were just like, well, I'm going to write this because it's fun.
Right.
I was
I'm sort of illustrating my point by showing characters like, okay, here are the crazies, and my main character is my viewpoint, and I had them sort of battle it out on the page. Because basically I stole that. Well, not only stole it, but Galileo had to convince. We're talking way back when with the Copernican theory that the sun went around, the Earth went around the sun, and Galileo needed to explain that to the layperson and used a character called Simplicico. In his there's a tome that he wrote, and he used the Simplicico character as the sort of church viewpoint, or the unenlightened, and then his character explained it out, rationally out to Simplicico. I'm basically doing the same thing. I have the funny, crazy characters who, aren't rational, and the drama is between my, the rational side arguing with the irrational side, and that's basically for both books.
Yeah. It's funny to get into the irrational, because I'll be honest, I'm a little bit conspiratorial minded. I go there, but I don't go all, there's things that I'm just yeah, but is it I know by the time this episode comes out, it's going to be a lame talking point, but the bridge that just collapsed.
Oh boy.
And everybody's like, oh, look at all these, there's bombs, the metal's melting and blah, 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 blah. Yep. I'm like, well, do you understand what happens to power lines when they snap? Because there's power lines going through the bridge for all the lights and stuff. When they snap, it's a fireball.
So, and fill me in on this one. I know, I saw the ship hit the bridge. The ship hit the bridge, it fell. Okay, what else do I need to know? Okay, but you're saying now, okay, hold on, there's power lines involved. So, go ahead, give me.
So there's the conspiracy community is talking about that it was done on purpose, right? So that, and that there was bombs set up in the bridge to help it fall down.
Right.
And so when you watch the video of when the ship actually hits the bridge, you can see some minor explosions, but when there's power lines that go through that to power the bridge.
Right. That would sound reasonable, right?
Yeah, exactly. When power, the power to my house just went out last week at the transformer, and it's a big fireball, and it just goes boom, and it's really loud. So that's when a power line snaps, it's gonna do that, and of course it also comes with some heat. So if there's minor melting or whatever of metal parts of the bridge, that could be a significant thing for it. But they're also saying that it's because of the reason why they think that there was bombs on the bridge is because that it was done on purpose to stop the importation of whatever is going in and out of that bay in Baltimore.
Well, at least their lives are more interesting. Believe that. This reminds me of that. Back when the towers dropped, right? And then people said, okay, hold on. They said, aha, wait a minute. Okay, so the metal girders, melted. But hold on, the metal girders only melt at 3,000 degrees, or something, blah, 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 right? And jet fuel burns at blah, 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 2,000 degrees here. So it's impossible. And then some dude who did a YouTube video, a blacksmith, said, look, I'm holding, have you seen this? Where the guy puts the metal up, he goes, this is standard, this is the standard metal that you'll find in a skyscraper, right? And there's a difference now between the melting point and then the bending point. And he goes, here, he basically, you'll find this on YouTube. He basically gets the metal up to, I don't know, 1,000. He goes, watch. See, it bends well before, it gives out. You have a structural failure long before it actually melts into a puddle. And that's, but these people, just details that, are kind of important, that you'll have a structural failure through just bending, not necessarily melting. So and I thought it was just a good point. Just okay, so you can tell he was just annoyed with the whole world. Metal doesn't have to, melt into a puddle before you have a failure,
right?
So it's that.
Yeah. The thing is about 9/11 for me is I don't understand why Building 7 came down. You know what I mean?
I'm not sure. I know obviously we saw 2 planes hit 2 buildings, right? And there's the other one,
Yeah,
that
that's
just
the only
fell.
one that I can't like
Okay.
explain, like
All right.
why, and the fact that it came down like a controlled demolition. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's all.
they do fall, like they don't just fall over sideways. They right,
Right.
just like the towers themselves went straight down, right? Because you're right,
Right.
once it comes out. But yeah, I'm not an engineer. I'm not gonna.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah, right. But yeah, but if at this point, as a crotchety old guy here, basically, as he, yeah. Crotchety boomer, okay, boomer. At this point, yeah, I don't care. I really don't care to necessarily convince anyone of religious. Yeah. If I was in my 40s, I'd probably be much more, getting torqued up here. But yeah, no, you. Yeah, I'll just sit here and watch the world do its thing.
I mean, I'm the same way. Like I mean, again, there's things that I believe and things that I don't believe, right? But I'm not here to sway anybody else's beliefs. Like I will like speak my opinion in my viewpoint, but I'm not necessarily trying to change anybody else's point of view.
Yeah, you won't. So or right.
And that, yeah.
Well, yeah. There's that 4% that maybe you can get.
Yeah.
But good luck to them.
It's just like with politics, whether you're left or right, you're 100% on either side. Like you can't be convinced of any like middle ground a lot of times. It's, at least these days anyway, it seems to me.
It seems like we're due for a the middle candidate or the independent. That's like, listen, okay, so I'm not allowed. I'm rash. I'm just reasonable in the middle. So and unfortunately, like what's his face? Speaking of conspiracies, JFK, not JFK, or what's his name, Junior?
RFK.
RFK. Thank you, Junior. Yep. Yeah, oh boy, yes, he would have looked promising, but until he got what was he on? There's a whole bunch of conspiracy things that could be appealing to the middle section of the country. So, the middle America, like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So I'll be dead in 20 years as a 62-year-old. Yeah. So, and I don't have any kids. I don't have any skin in the game. But God, I hope you people don't, blow up the world, since I don't have any precious children that I have to keep going. And so yeah. Basically, I've turned into my grandfather. Now I completely understand my grandfather. As a kid, I was just like, look, he's got funny pants. He doesn't care. It's like, oh my God, oh my God. I totally understand my grandfather now. Totally. Just give me my garden. He just cares about his garden. He just wants to pull weeds. Oh my, yeah, I want my garden. I want my garden. Fine, I'll read a couple books. This is what I think. I know you probably don't care, right? But that's right. Just give me my garden. And I'll just watch what happens. At some point, maybe there'll be like, a really interesting story on CNN. Like, oh wow, geez, somebody blew somebody up. Wow, okay, yeah, or yeah, So yeah, at some point there will be an interesting news day when I wake up and like, wow, good thing I don't have kids.
Right.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that make me worried, because I have kids. I also have one due in a couple weeks too. So
see, you have skin in the game. Yeah, Jesus, you something. Let's fix the goddamn problem here. Goddamn right. So right.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think at this point, to not to get too far off topic, but politically, I feel like there should be more than two choices.
Right.
That's all I gotta say.
Right, because people have said, well, why aren't there multiple choices? Why aren't there 6 choices? Problem is, the religious choice would win because they all those people are just on the same boat, same page, and just basically are told what to do, like vote for that guy because he's the religious. So that's why you can't have 6 candidates, right?
Yeah.
So it has to. So and basically it's through democracy it's like you're down to 2. Which is the least shitty candidate? But at least you have to pick. even though I've never voted. But promise, I'm in Massachusetts, so yeah, this is liberal country here. Yeah, anyone who would have won, yeah, that's it's probably my vote. Yeah, you know, so yeah, yay politics.
Yay politics.
Yeah, right.
Welcome to Primetime Crime Podcast. I am your host, Kylie, and in this podcast, we are going to deep dive into some lesser known unsolved true crime cases, from missing persons to unsolved homicides. This is the place where we are going to unpack it all, research it all, talk about it all, and try to bring justice to these families after all of these years. We are going to take it one story at a time, one case at a time, and hopefully justice will be ours.
Oh, yeah, there's a whole tangent there we could veer off on. So right.
So in the first book, when you're talking about UFOs and stuff, do you touch on like the fact that some have theorized that aliens may not even be traveling from light years away from another galaxy, that they might already be here?
Right, they'll already be here. Right. Yes, Fermi paradox, right? And I addressed that in the first book here. That, well, again, my first argument is like, so yes, they could, in fact, they are here, right? But do they actually have to do we have to be notified that they are here? So that's one alternative to the Fermi paradox. Oh yeah, they're here, you know, sure. They just never bothered to announce themselves, or were certainly better at hiding themselves. That in my argument on that, right, is there is no advantage if an extraterrestrial or some intelligence made the trip. There's no advantage for them to actually announce their presence, right? There's nothing we can give them that they can't just observe, like, yeah, okay, that's where they are, you know. There's nothing we can offer them to, you know, so there's not in their interest. It's like, well, why do we have to shake their hand? We're just going to bum them out, especially if they had said something like, oh, by the way, we were here 2,000 years ago, and we know exactly what person you're referring to when you mentioned Jesus. Yeah, and no, it didn't happen that way. Oops-a-daisy. That could be a big issue. But yeah, so there's no, and I know we would love to have extraterrestrials, yay, solve our problems. Yeah, you know, that's for Hollywood, that's, you know, a big thing where it's like, oh boy, thank God the aliens were here. Those are the good ones, if they're not trying to kill us. So I mean, again, even if they did offer us something, and I've sort of made this argument that let's say, all right, here we go. And this wouldn't. Okay, imagine now the aliens built a thing, a little cube, right? That can basically output the power of a power station, you know, or a nuclear station, right? Right here, you get two leads, right? And it could power your house, your car, everything for the rest of your life and the rest of your kids, right? And this would be the greatest thing the aliens could ever give to us, right? Like, wow, we can just solve, you know, anything with just infinite power, this small, right? Yeah, you could just pour water, you know, you could just basically get water in deserts. You could just, you know, because you can just do the process there. Now, they'll say, by the way, before we give you this box here, which can, you know, generate so much power, these two leads here, if you touch them to your neighbor, they will vaporize. You will just kill anybody. You can take this box and just kill, and they're just vaporized and gone. Please don't take this and kill each other with it. But we know that you guys would really love to have this. Let's see what happens. You know, guess what? We would kill each other. We would hurt ourselves with that little box. That's just who we are, and that's how we still are. So there's no advantage, and like I said, if they gave us great technology, it would be their fault that we killed ourselves with it, or however. So that's sort of my argument. Like, well, they don't. Why should they announce themselves? Two, And here's a point that I mentioned as a sort of a joke in the book. It's like, so if they travel that far, how come especially we see UFO discs at night, how come they can't turn the lights off? So they're that advanced. You're saying they don't know how to turn the lights off?
That's a good point.
So it's another thing is why can't it, and if they have to get close to us, why can't they just be tiny? We would just never see them, right? That's advanced, right? Well, we don't know, it has to be how we imagine it. Oh, that crash saucers, and to me that's an oxymoron. Because they wherever they came from, if they made the trip that far, they had to. And let's assume they traveled at the speed of light, right? Hitting a little particle of something would be really bad at traveling at the speed of light, or a little particle traveling near the speed of light hitting you is really bad. So they had to not just avoid planets, but little particles to get here. Earth. They slammed into our planet. I'm really, really disappointed in these extraterrestrials that crashed into our planet. Really, really, you made it that far, that advanced, and you just something as blatant as hitting a planet. Oh boy, And then you go, no, they bent space to get here. Like, oh, all right. So now, yeah, we know how much energy it takes, to bend space. But yeah, those planets will just kick your ass. Just bang, you hit right in, you slam right into them, and yeah. So all the ones that have crashed, I'm really, really disappointed. How fucking stupid, or how incompetent, or just I guess it wasn't that advanced. Now was it? Now, obviously, what's going on is just dumb people can't imagine smarter people than themselves. So yeah, it has to be it can't be much different. Most people can't even conceive of it, and most people, smart people, can't even conceive of what the technology will be like 100 years from now, or even 200, right? So I feel confident that hitting a planet would have been solved a long time ago. There's my rant on
Point real quick though is that's if they're interested in saving the planet.
Who cares? Well, yeah, sure. Well, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Why would they?
Yeah.
It's our business to kill ourselves if we want, I guess.
Yeah, true. Because I was speaking to somebody who had experiences, and she was saying that if they because. There's a story that the reason why that they are here that is because they don't want us to use the nuclear weapons and blah blah. Right. And they're trying to make sure that we don't destroy the planet. But she was saying, she's like, if they're so advanced, and whatever, and they're just here to monitor to make sure that we don't use it, they would just shut it down if they were that advanced. You know what I mean?
Well, again, assuming that you care enough. But the point is that's just one step. We've figured out how to recreate the sun, basically, right? There's a small little amount here. So it's just a natural step. I know us Earthlings are like, oh my God, radiation, but there's plenty of radiation out in space. I mean, just gamma rays and just horrible things out there. Yes, we would love to have someone smarter come by and solve our problems. For sure. I would love that. I would really like to, but then I guess it's wishful thinking. Us now on just the whole question of extraterrestrial and just life out there, right? And we certainly have the argument like, well, there's so many damn planets, places that there certainly has to be something. Agreed, right? But if you said, okay, and there's billions of galaxies out there. Let's just say what's the number here? Not the Fermi paradox, but here I got my notes here. Senior moment here. There's a number here. Should have checked my notes. But let's just say that there's one extra civilization like us, right? We'll go with that, per galaxy. We're still alone. The trick is you now have to get from one galaxy to another, which is so far out of our wheelhouse. Sure, we might be able to do that. But even that one, even putting at 1 billion civilizations like ourselves, each in their own galaxy, still makes us alone.
Right.
Again, yeah. And then the other question is are we just an actual blip? This, are we indeed on the path to kill ourselves? Which could be, as an old guy, yeah. If enough Trump supporters got together, yeah, on that aspect. And I had one final rant here. Oh, yeah. And now, but again, we're assuming life like us, right? Which is like, okay, a creature on a planet managed to put, metal together to get them off their planet, right? Certainly, you could have a water planet that, if you don't have fire, if you had a dolphin world, you're never going to make metals to make yourself a spaceship. I can't see how you're going to make a frozen, or, one of the prerequisites of somebody like us, is, you're on a planet, you can actually make something that can get you off the planet to then go somewhere else. But the question is, if life is common, now don't forget, we were known as a giant lizard planet for a very long time. That's assuming, right? So let's say they're watching us, right? For a very long time. And it was like, don't go there, Earth. It's just a bunch of lizards. And it's reset a couple of times. Yet more lizards. And just recently, finally, we have something different. So that would kind of imply that, if life starts up fairly common in the universe could conceivably be filled with lots of lizard planets, right? Oh, yeah, it's very interesting life. Yeah, it's just that they're not to a point where they're sending radio signals out. And again, we could be the anomaly, right? We're just like, oh no, we're going to kill ourselves. Yeah, no, that we're it's going to get away from us, and the big reset. So I wouldn't be surprised. I'll never know, but the universe is filled with giant lizard planets. Assuming that we're like a common thing. And there's a book I forgot. Let me see if I can. Here, I got my notes here. There's a book, a guy who laid out all the different parameters on life. Yeah, I lost my notes here. Where's my, anyway. I think it's called We Are Alone. And when you break down, what we know, right, about life and, how planets, anyway, so, he's saying that we're kind of uncommon for this point. I'm not saying completely rare, but uncommon. An example, having a moon. If the moon indeed is something important for life, right? We're basically a mini binary planet. So even though most stars have a Goldilocks zone, right? We're talking about, right? But if one of the things is you need a planet, you need a binary little planet in the Goldilocks zone. And how we got our moon, right, is we at least at this point we think that a Mars-sized object, hit the proto-Earth and then spawn off our moon. But because we have a moon, we have a very stable orbit, or that gave us great stability on having our planet stay upright. And we have basically reasonable seasons. I think, is it Venus? I think has if we didn't have a moon like that, our planet would just ultimately start to just turn over onto itself. Yeah. And I think Venus is facing the wrong way. Who are these things? There. So if that indeed is important to life on Earth, you need a moon-sized object to stabilize the planet. Well, that narrows it down a bunch. Again, not impossible. Yeah, no, there's certainly going to be, certainly, and there's got to be certainly another binary, we'll call it, in a sense, binary planet in the Goldilocks zone somewhere. So again, there's a cool book that went all the different aspects of, how much metal we have actually in our bodies here. And to get to that point, you could not have it in the first billion years of the universe, just because it takes stars, going supernova to create the metals to get to this point, to actually have a creature like us. So yeah, it was interesting it would have taken a while, to about this point to actually get to the point of, okay, life actually existing as we know it. And again, that's what we're assuming. We're like, okay, yes, we can imagine all sorts of other crystal life forms or whatever, but for now we're just going to stick with, okay, this works. The meaty fleshy things with fire and metals. Yeah, that works for now. There's my rant.
Have you heard the theory that the dinosaurs might be birds now?
Yeah, well, I thought there were variants of birds or whatever, or
they weren't actual like lizards. They were more feathered than lizard skin now.
Right.
Which I mean, I never really understood how they knew how they looked outside of the bones anyway. When I was a kid.
There's some fossils that have some skin-like things on it.
Okay.
Yeah, in that, yes, no, the fact they're not, unlike lizards, which are cold-blooded. Yeah, they kind of figured the dinosaurs weren't strictly cold-blooded like our lizards.
Oh, okay.
I think they do that through the bone. I think they had some kind of I have to paraphrase the whole areas of science here. But yeah, I think they can tell with fossils like, yes, that kind of bone would mean it's not cold-blooded. Something in the fossils imply that it's warm-blooded, not just strictly, lizard to lizard stuff.
I gotcha. Do you think the moon is solid?
Should be. We tested it, right? I mean, we've sent enough things at
Did
it. Yeah. Well, they've landed things on it, right? I mean, in fact, those the recent, even the Chinese. I mean, I thought we'd done this with the Apollo missions, but the Chinese mission just recently landed something on there, which was going to do seismic stuff. Yeah. So no, that's why. Is there a conspiracy there?
Well, I mean,
there's an old one, the hollow Earth thing, but was there a hollow moon thing or?
Well, because there was this old video that I remember watching. It was like a congressman or somebody of some kind of importance doing like some press meeting thing or whatever, press conference. And he was talking about how that the moon wasn't solid. And I think it was like the 40s, because obviously we know that Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin supposedly went to the moon in 1969. And he was talking about how the moon was made out of plasma. Now, the fact that we supposedly went to the moon and that that they destroyed the technology to go back and now we can't go back doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't really understand that.
In fact, I write about this in the book, the whole moon landing thing here. Now, the point is the Russians already sent things to the moon well before Apollo. And the argument I have is, I said, okay. I said, all right. And this is where my simplistical character came into play here. I said, okay, so let's get this straight. Okay, and you ask these people, they're always squirrely about that. I said, hold on. So did the Mercury missions happen? Did we shoot rockets up that orbited Earth? Is that, they kind of reluctantly go, okay, fine, yeah, Mercury happened. Okay, now, did the Gemini missions happen, right? You put two guys in, right, is that? And they kind of go, yeah, okay, fine. I said, all right, so now Apollo 1, did they take a giant rocket and shoot it around and just orbit the Earth? It's like, they're like, yeah, they did that. I said, okay, now, the Russians know this. It's 6 minutes worth of burn. Once you are orbiting Earth and you time it right, 6 minutes of fuel will get you to the moon. Right? You come around, hit the rockets for 6 minutes, you're going to the moon here. So you're saying that right there, that's what kicked the Apollo moon's mission. 6 minutes of burn just kicked NASA's ass. Nope, can't do it. Even though clearly the Russians already did it long before there was like 4 Russian missions that crashed into the moon. So the point is, it's like, so really you thought it's that hard to get a rocket ship to the moon? 6 minutes of fuel, that's all it is, 6 minute burn, and you're going to be there. So, yeah, and these people have no answer, you know. I presented that in the book there. So they're just looking for something to talk about, or just looking for something, you know. Yeah. And by the way, when you mention like old people, yeah, look, 62, 60. So yeah, when you get my age, it's like, basically my mother's an idiot. Most of my friends, you know, you reach a point where like, this whole old and authoritative, it's like, no, I'm now there. I'm now the old authoritative guy. No, that guy's an idiot. These are all idiots. Just because if you see someone old like me making a statement, you should double check even what I'm saying.
I got you.
All right.
I got you.
So anyway, the moon landed, and then back to the moon itself, like oy vey, you know. All right.
Yeah.
Well, just Isn't there something better to like watch on TV or the internet than listening to those people here? But yeah, okay, they've got their place.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so speaking of, all right, so and I ranted about this at another podcast. Again, as an old guy, right? If you had a crackpot theory back in the 70s, right? It was really hard to find other crackpots that you could get together and go, I got it. Because why? I mean, you could. If you could this is well before the internet, right? So you would have to find another crackpot. You could maybe go, if they had like a UFO convention, you could meet some there, and then you would have to get their address, right? And then you would have to send mailings out. You could, or maybe have a flyer of some sort. You have to put stamps on that. You got to, there's a lot of work there to keep in touch with those, other crackpots with like-minded individuals. Since the internet, it's like, and that kept them in check, basically. Because, it was just hard finding someone who agreed with you if you're so off the planet. Now it's easy. It's like you can find like-minded people in an instant, and you can all get together, and they will, just nod their heads in unison. And I'm like, all right, okay, yep, they found each other, and this covers everything from politics to crackpot theories. Am I going to do goddamn it, the good old days? No. It'd be interesting to see how life now progresses forward when all the crackpots can all agree upon with each other and reinforce each other. It kind of makes you go, geez, I wonder if the Chinese have something there. Like, okay, so in the sense that they certainly won't allow with their censorship. You can't say that. No, that's just wrong. You're lying. In the American ways, no, goddamn it, it's my right to be ignorant. So I'm going to use my rights as an American to be as ignorant as possible. So yes, you do. Yep. And you're going to broadcast it amongst yourself. Thank God I'll be dead in 20 years. So okay.
I might be too.
Good luck, kids. What, how old are you? I'm 62. Look at these. I don't know.
Well, I mean, anything could happen.
Oh boy. All right. I stepped into this with a bunch of millennials.
Yes, I'm technically a millennial.
Okay. Yeah. Do you want to go?
I was.
Do you want to go there?
I was born in the 80s.
All right. Yes. Go forth and be fruitful, young man. Is all I got to say. But yes, in short, yes. Yes. All right, here you go. Yeah. All right. Thank God you young people are charging forward. Yes, the world needs to be fixed, and this is what young people do, right? Yes, because certainly not us. Right? I'm looking for a place to retire. I'm looking for my garden. So yes. Yeah. That's the nature of just young people. Yeah. Oh, go crazy. There's enough of them that somebody will figure it out. and yeah, the world, goddamn it, needs to be fixed. And yes, that I remember being like that as a 20-year-old. It's like, yeah, God, I want, yeah, okay, you get the energy. So yeah, yeah, I'm not saying no, but like, yeah, just go ahead. Yes, Mother Nature has built it that way, to have young people impale themselves over any crazy idea they want, or good one, we don't know until they actually try it. Whether it was record an album, shoot a movie, write a book, start a podcast,
Record a TikTok.
Whether it fails or not, yeah, there's so many that somebody will succeed, and we will all celebrate that guy. Yay! But yeah, where the rest of us will just fail, yeah, no one will care. But yes, thank God there's young people who are just like, no, screw it, I'm gonna try. Like, yay, yay. I won't. Yeah. Us old people won't do that. So yeah, anyway, so I agree. Yes, the world's going to shit. Yep, you'll probably be dead too. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna bring back the woolly mammoths. So in 2027,
that'd be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
Right, yeah,
it'd be interesting.
Right.
They talked about doing the saber-toothed tigers too, and I'm like, don't do that.
Right.
Don't do that one. The mammoths.
Right.
Cool, but tigers, no. Don't do that.
I believe I saw something that someone put forth. Well, could we do dinosaurs? Like, nah. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. No, there is no DNA. We're talking millions of years here, right?
Right.
Million. Versus the woolly mammoth is only what, a couple thousand, or what, a couple 10,000
Yeah, because they existed while we existed.
Right. So we have some solid chunks of DNA for woolly mammoths and saber-tooths. But they said that, yeah, some biologists or some whatever some book was saying that, I know it was cool to have it in a movie because you want to have dinosaurs in your movie, and you need to come up with some bullshit reason, to have them here, just so but that was not likely for dinosaurs. Maybe woolies. Those are cool. I'll take woolly mammoths.
Yeah. They are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But in your second book, Higher Strangeness,
right.
You said that you discussed the QAnon thing, and now I think that was like some kind of I don't know. I don't think it was governmental, and I don't think that whatever it was kind of silly. Not that they were. I mean, there was things that they said that were kind of made you think a little bit, and you're like, huh, like the evergreen thing, fucking, or whatever that they were talking about. And I just found that really weird. What do you think is behind? Because there's been speculation that it was some kind of supercomputer just spitting out random information.
Okay, so which now? I start in my book. I refer to the Pizzagate thing. I literally started from there. The Pizzagate thing, right, where there's little children being abused at a pizza place, and the dude showed up with I start the book with that. My evil organization is called Emeron, M-Oron. If you go to the website M-Oron.com, Emeron, QAnon, get it? Get Emeron. Yeah. Basically, that's my evil organization, Emeron, which is all a fraud set up by another character in the thing here. But yeah, I'm familiar with how it started, and then I'm sure it's shot off everywhere. So what is this? What were you saying? The green, they
said something about the way they said something about evergreen with a cryptid message, and then all of a sudden evergreen there was a evergreen. The company there and the shipment company or whatever, and they had one of those big ships like the one that hit the bridge just was stuck in a canal and blocking the canal for a month or so.
Right.
And that was the only one that I heard of, because I didn't really follow. I didn't hear much about QAnon. I didn't really follow it.
Right.
But there was some things. I was just curious, your thoughts on it, because they're what you think may have been behind it, because obviously it could have been just random people just wanting to ruffle feathers or whatever. There's
there you go. There's my answer. Right, just life is so much more interesting when there's a conspiracy behind it. Right, and And if you got nothing else to do with yourself, I'm sure you can find all sorts of connections.
I'm Jess.
And I'm Jen.
And we're the hosts of the What the Fuck Is That podcast.
Have you ever wondered, what the fuck is that? Well, we found the podcast that dives deep into the mysterious and the unexplained.
Picture this: gripping storytelling, unexpected twists with a touch of humor just to keep you on the edge of your seat. All of that and more on the What the Fuck Is That podcast, your go-to destination for chilling true crime, spine-tingling mysteries, and paranormal wonders.
So if you're ready to unravel the unknown, search for WTF Is That podcast on Spotify and hit that follow button.
Trust us, you won't want to miss a single spine-chilling episode. Subscribe now and join the mysterious journey. Bye!
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah, it's the whole. Yeah, again, the flat earthers. Like, why are we even listening to them? But okay, you got something to talk about. Yeah, your life's interesting. There's conspiracy. I mean, okay, yeah. So even trying to take it seriously, it's just like, and most of that just comes from just ignorance. Of some of the facts. As example, what I used, remember I talked about the guy doing the bendy metal, the metal, it's an important detail that structural failure will happen long before it actually melts. I don't want those details. I just need to, I just want to, building fall down. Yeah, okay, So that's a lot of that is in there, or they didn't get the research done. No, this person said this, it didn't imply this, So it's just scrambly facts. There's just a whole bunch of it. Yeah, why? That takes effort. Why don't it take effort? When there's something interesting on TikTok, I can just flip through, it'd be interesting to see how far this goes in 20 years. And then I'll be dead. And then I'll be dead. Like, yay, okay.
Yeah. I will say though, really quick, because you brought it up, the flat Earth thing.
Okay, right.
I'm not saying that I believe it at all, but I will say that I do listen to them because I find it interesting.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Bigfoot's interesting.
Right.
Dark Monster's interesting.
Right.
Extraterrestrials. It's interesting in a very funny, like deranged way. It's, like I said, to me, it's just like, wow. It's just like, what? Well, just almost like you want to like put them in on a scanner machine and just like, what is their brain thinking? So wow, how did you get to this point here that you actually, And the argument is whether they actually believe it or they're just, I don't know. And there's other books that have been done on the psychology of conspiracy thinking, where if a lot of it is apparently, and I wish I could, if I could find the book, I could tell you the guy's name. He's a psychologist. There's a social aspect, like, ooh, we all agree, we all have our little secret, ooh, and that's just human nature. Whether you're going on about celebrity culture or whatever. Just it's interesting in the sense that, like, it's how the human mind works. Not even close to reality, but make your own reality. Or, yes, you can live in your own reality and okay, how am I supposed to, convert or convince anyone that the wrong or otherwise.
Right. That's interesting. Are you planning on doing a third book?
See?
Oh wait, no. I think we already discussed this in the beginning. Actually,
Which
I'm
one?
sorry.
No. Well, the third book. No, yes.
Because you were doing a psychological thriller, but I was curious if you decided to do a third one that goes along with the other two.
Highest strangeness. See, highest strangeness. Right.
Yeah.
All right. No, it looks bleak because I'm looking at my Amazon numbers, right? That it starts at high strangeness. The numbers could come up, but it drops down significantly to higher strangeness. And then, like, all right, do I want to spend 6 months of my life writing something for 5 people? And here's the deal. I was thinking of doing something along the lines of Contact. Remember the movie written by Carl Sagan, starring what's her face, Contact, where basically the aliens are.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
All
yes.
Right. And it kind of goes over religion, kind of like, do you believe you actually met the creator? Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hammer on religion. Not going to sell any books. so yeah. I'm just going down. I've already dug a hole into this what little genre there is to sell, and then when I just let me go after the religious now. Yeah. That's 6 months of my life where I could have been writing a psychological thriller. So yes, highest strangeness is somehow in the skull that I'm sure nobody. If enough people gave a shit, sure, okay. But yeah, I'm doubting. No one will care. Yeah.
Maybe. What's the? Can you do you have details on the?
Pause it. Okay. There you go. Maybe, yes. See, again, young, positive, yes. Old, grumpy. See,
old, cynical.
I'm cynical, yeah. I'm there, but no problem. Yes, embrace it, young. Go ahead. All right, go ahead. Sorry, cut you off. Go ahead. All right.
No, you're good.
Right.
I was just curious if you have like a plot to your psychological thriller.
Oh, yes. Okay. Stealing the Sting. All right. Now, young man, have you seen the movie The Sting? Paul Newman came out in 1973. Hell of a twist. You did. Okay. If you're all right. Most people haven't seen The Sting. It's a cool ending there where it's a big twist, right? Where Paul Newman shoots Robert Redford, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Stealing the Sting ending. I'm just stealing that, because here's the deal. As a 62-year-old who's been studying thrillers, novels, and how to write it, no one's seen The Sting. It's like, so you're right. I might as well just steal the ending. This is where it's like, forget art, forget expressing myself. Yeah, that was a good ending, since no millennial has seen The Sting. I mean, short yourself. Or if a film buff, you probably have seen it, because won the Academy Award and all that. So I have no problem just recycling old jokes that I heard as a kid. Like, I just tell them that I get an audience, they laugh. Like, I didn't think of it. I'm just recycling the joke. I heard 40 years ago. So it's my job now. It's just like, I'm just going to recycle. Yeah, The Sting. It's a good ending. I'm not going to use it exactly.
Right.
But it's psychological thrillers. The formula is everyone's lying. And then expose the lies. That's
Okay.
It'll make a good movie too. In fact,
I like books that you can see it like in a movie way, kind of, when you're reading it.
In fact, like I said, as a failed filmmaker, I conceive of these stories as movies, right?
Yeah.
Writing a film, I thought that nobody wants to read a film script, and that's basically how I naturally would assemble these things. But my first book, I conceived it like, well, that'd be a cool movie. Wrote it as a book. Nobody gave a shit. So I said, all right, fine. I wrote it up as a film script. If you go to high-strangeness.com, it's there. This is 4 years ago. I submitted it to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, right? The Academy, right? Those big guys. They have a movie script. It's not a festival, but if they deem you worthy, they will actually let you in on Hollywood. Basically, you get an agent, and this is like the shortcut into a Hollywood career. If you can get through, there's a name for this, the Academy of the blah 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 Film Script Festival, we'll call it, right? So I actually won with High Strangeness. I got past 6,000 other scripts. So I made it the first cut. So must have been a good story, something there. I didn't make the second cut because it has a thinking dog in it, so I'm sure that would put off somebody. I head hop, as the term called, into a dog. The joke is on the first book is what if the only thing that interacts with the extraterrestrials was a dog, because they just they give off odor, and that basically all the characters in the first book Yeah, didn't even realize they're standing on the extraterrestrials. The dog was basically interacting with them. So from the extraterrestrial viewpoint, the most interesting thing on this planet were the dogs. You know, that's a little spoiler, but not the whole thing. So, anyway.
Dogs are pretty interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, no, all this could be film scripts. Nobody, just, yeah. I'll stick with books. You know.
Yeah.
I think I got my little angle, my little niche I can focus on.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's
kids,
cool.
see what happens when you turn 62. Well, so I'll take this back. I'm still slugging away. All my artsy-fartsy friends are long gone that did anything like this. You know, shoot movies, play music. Yeah. So I'm the delusional one that kept going. You poor, sad old man here. Yeah.
That's funny. I am an aspiring writer myself. I haven't put anything out, but
all right.
I have 2 book ideas.
Okay. All right.
And then I'm currently trying to figure out how to do a comic book on cryptids. Like, it's basically just a guy and his dog going around there. He's a missing person investigator, but he comes across these cryptids, and then he ends up becoming a monster hunter kind of thing for the comic book aspect. And then I have like a hitman story that I want to write, and then I have a story like a psychological thriller, like a murder mystery kind of thing that has to do with a cryptid, but it's a murder mystery. But I'm not going to I'm not going to give like my thinking of that away, because you'd have to, if I do write it, I would rather you find out through reading.
Yeah, that's a good hook there, that whole cryptic, because there's a whole bunch of people, and as long as you're not making fun of them like I did, you know, they'd be like, oh, this is pretty cool. The comic book thing, I did my first book, I did an animated book trailer on it, right? And you could find that, go somewhere, Hi Strangers, it's on there someplace. But who do you have for an artist? I mean, so are you going to draw it, or you don't draw?
Well, I'm going between an AI program and a friend of mine too. So she's going to help me format for the comic book, but we're going to try and use this AI program as well. Yeah,
I know. I've been struggling. I've delved. AI, woohoo, ChatGPT. I've been doing that.
Right.
And I wanted to take some of these imagery from my second book, and I'll figure, I'll just use ChatGPT AI. What's it called? Anyway. To create the imagery. Problem with the ChatGPT is it has its own set idea of what it wants to give you. I know you can tell it, but as an example, I wanted one of the images in one of my stories here is a French maid on a golf cart driving down a seaside road on Cape Cod. Right? And it can kind of do something like that, but you're like, no, I want it at nighttime. I want a French maid, and it kind of just, it can never really, nail down what I was thinking in my head. No, you really can't tell, move the camera over, zoom in, you can kind of, but, move a little closer. I mean, if you just take the defaults, you get something. Usually with funny fingers, too many fingers or whatever. That's what this AI program I'm using too. Like, it won't give me a dead body. Right. Yeah. It absolutely will not give me a dead body, no matter how I write it or whatever. So that's where my friend Emily comes in, because she's an actual artist, but which I was using her to do the comic book itself, but she started having health issues and stuff like that, and had a hard time doing long form like art. So. So I started shopping around for other illustrators. Okay, everybody is expensive. Aha! Now, okay, you ready? Go to Fiverr. There are people living in Pakistan, and in fact, I got my artist to do my my book trailer. He lived in one of those like Yugoslavian countries near Turkey. Much cheaper there. And yeah, he was able to give me some decent drawings. Again, just because he lived in a part of the world that it's just much cheaper to exist on, or to live in. And that, yes, there are artists who are very good who are living in Vietnam, or whatever, or third world-ish country that'll do it and programmers who will do it way cheaper than us privileged white people here in America. So yeah, look into that, because he did the entire thing. Of course, you have to be used to working, through the internet, which everyone is. But yeah, so yes, I highly recommend, just because you'll find somebody cheap enough at some point. And again, what you're talking about is a lot of work, right? You're doing a lot of panels, right? Yeah, that's a lot of work. So having your friend is one thing, but you said, listen, you need to commit, 3 months of your life to this. For how much you're going to pay her.
Yeah, she was charging me $50 per page.
Yeah, and that's right in line. $50 would get you way more from a guy in Yugoslavia or someone in Vietnam. Oh God.
Oh wow.
$50. Oh, in fact, I hired a Pakistani programmer for $40 to do an entire JavaScript thing. I'm promoting a book, and I better not. I can't tell you guys. Let's just say I'm doing social media automation, and I got a Pakistani guy for $40 built the whole thing, which would normally take hours. It wasn't that hard, but for $50, yes, you could get a whole bunch of panels, somebody out there for $50. That's good money to somebody, right? So yeah, look into that. I would just go to Fiverr. I mean, that's the first place to start.
Okay.
I swear by those guys. Back in the day, if you made enough cheapy the deal is, if you made enough cheapy websites, here you go. If you made, sorry kids, this no longer works, but there was some good money to be had 10 years ago when you made if you made a website, campingtoilets.com, right, and then put in a bunch of affiliate links back to Amazon, right, because your website was set camping toilets in the URL number one. Google will then shoot you to the top of the listings, right? And anyone who went to Google and typed in camping toilet, then went to your site, and you fired them over to Amazon, and you did your cut. Or basically, you could put in some Google ads, AdSense ads on the page too. So it was a pretty good deal until Google said, no, we're not allowing you to do this. But I was able to find a college-educated Filipino woman who wrote me 3,000 words on camping toilets, because you needed a website with some content on it. And I felt bad having this woman had an English major degree, but she lived in the Philippines. so these $75 I sent her or whatever, was well below her ability. So yeah, again, the same deal. If you need writing, now you can fake it with ChatGPT. Yes, now I wouldn't have to hire Valerie was her name from the Philippines. Yes, ChatGPT could write me whole bunches of pages of camping toilets, and I wouldn't have any problem pumping out. But that gig has passed. So yeah. Now fiction, on another hand. It can't do fiction. I mean, it can do really horrible fiction. But if you have some questions on sentence structure, feed the ChatGPT. This is a better way to say that sentence. But there are people who are doing that right now. In fact, there was this. What was it called? Clark's World magazine, right? There are classic sci-fi monthly magazine, right? that was paying good money for people to write short science fiction stories. And right when ChatGPT came out, he got flooded with these shitty stories. You could tell they were just all pumped out off of ChatGPT. And he had to shut his site down and just said, look, no. Anyone who sends me is more of this ChatGPT crap. I know it, and I can see it in an instant. But anyway, we're not there yet. So as an author, we have a still chance in hell at this point. Maybe another 10 years, ChatGPT will then go, yeah, I can pump out. Yeah, it knows how to do it. Yeah, no problem. Write me another Michael Crichton novel. It'll be, hey, this is pretty good. Why do we need Michael Crichton? Well, he's dead anyway, but yeah.
There'll be a huge boost in novels coming out.
Well,
ChatGPT can do that shit.
Well, there's a huge boost now, but a huge boost in shitty novels.
Right.
But I don't put it past it at all. ChatGPT to that actually is pretty good. It might take. Well, I don't even dare say anything. I did when it first came out a couple. Was it 2 years ago? I remember logging in, and the first thing I asked it, I go, "What's a hen weigh?" Do you know the joke about 2 pounds? What's a hen weigh? About 2 pounds. And when I asked it, "What's a hen weigh?" it goes, "Oh, you're trying to be funny." It actually came back with about 2 pounds. And it goes, then it explained itself. I understand that you're doing a setup to a punchline, and the punchline, of a joke, which blah 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 blah, which ChatGPT normally does. So the fact that it knew what funny was supposed to be, it knew it. It can't write funny, or it does. It's just puns and just right. But it's almost it's getting there, Doc. I have a dog. What?
That's funny.
Hey, what are you up to?
Oh, hi. I'm listening to this awesome podcast.
Ooh, I love finding awesome new podcasts. What is it about?
Well, it's about a bunch of things. Sometimes history, sometimes hauntings, sometimes it's spooky, and sometimes it's funny, but it's always interesting.
Ooh, okay, that sounds great. What's special about it?
Well, each week, Celine picks a topic and reads it, and
Wait, what?
Matt creates a pairing of a treat and a drink to go with this peculiar tale.
Wait.
And they talk about it, and they joke about it.
Hold on.
And sometimes they have guests and have even more fun.
Wait a second.
What?
That's our podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
Why are you listening to our podcast?
Well, we're heading into the long dark of winter, and that can make some people feel kind of isolated, and listening to Peculiar Pairings is a great way to feel like you're hanging out with good friends at the push of a button.
Well, that actually sounds really nice. Kind of sounds like everyone should be listening to Peculiar Pairings.
I couldn't agree more.
So if this sounds like it's piqued your interest, you should search Peculiar Pairings podcast on your favorite podcasting platform today.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Come check it out.
Find us. We're there.
Last question. So your novels here, are you a pantser or are you a plotter? You know the difference?
I do not know the difference. Okay. If you can school me on that.
All right. A pantser means you're right by the seat of your pants, right? You start, okay, there's a boy in a castle, and he went out to meet his dragon, and then he walked over, you just go with the flow, and then your character went over here, we met this person, and then so it's very episodic. And yeah, apparently there's a whole bunch of people who write what's the genre here? Just sword and sorcery stuff where you just wander through the countryside, right, slaying your dragon. Basically, you're rewriting a video game, basically, right, on paper. And generally, if you have no ending, or that's why most novels are like, there's really no ending. You just kind of run out of steam and okay, you're done. A plotter means you know where you're going. You're plotting the ending. You're going bing, bing, bing. Okay, I'm going to focus on this. The middle is this. The ending is this. There's my ending. My character slays, whatever, the bad guy on this thing here. But, you know where you're going. Yeah, plotter, and it's a bunch of effort to sit there and just jumble around all these ideas. To go, okay, bing, 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 you know, where it's easier just to go, oh, and you know, the guy left, he just went out the front door, got in his car, and then drove, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, highly recommend that. Yeah, plot it.
I think if I had to choose, I think I'm a little bit of both. Like I know the direction that I'm going in, but I'm also a little like just going with the flow kind of thing. Like with the Hitman novel that I have in my head, I've had in my head for like 6 years now.
Right.
And I've written the first chapter 7 times.
See, all right, well, okay.
Yeah.
Do you know where you're going? Do you have it? Do you have an ending for that?
I do. Like I started with an ending. Like I already know how it's gonna end.
Okay. Did you now? Basically, you're shooting for what? A novel, right?
Yeah.
A little one novelette. Do you need 30 chapters or 15 chapters, or you know? Because if you're going for a 60,000 word novel, okay, that's what 30 chapters, right? Times 2,000 words each, roughly, right? I mean, that's, you can see that. Okay, you can sort of visualize. Okay, well, how much I need to fill if you're going to do it this way. And okay, you're going to kill your bad guy. Your hitman's going to ultimately, whoever dies, whatever happens at the end, right? Happens on chapter, if it's 30, chapter 25, or maybe 27, right? When we're bang, okay, you leave a chapter to finish it, or to okay. So that means, okay, now what happens in the middle, right?
Right.
Then okay, so don't even bother with the first chapter, because like, okay, well, where am I going in the middle? Who am I meeting? Yeah, and once you have it blocked out, it's like, yeah, who cares what the first chapter is? You know, oh yeah, okay, you know what okay, I just need to get this point across, and then you know, off you go. Again, as a filmmaker, this is something that, as a filmmaker, you have 120 pages for a movie, and most movies are expensive. You can't, you know, come up with a 300-page script and like, well, we'll just figure it out as we shoot.
Right.
No. Everything has to be planned down to the day. And every story beat should be interesting or fun, you know, so you literally break it down, you know, by the minute. And I sort of do that as a writer, like, okay, is this paragraph interesting? Because knowing that if I had to turn into a film script, well, would I cut this or would I include it?
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of places that go over story structure, and nice. I recommend study that, or better yet, study a film or story that you like, but pull it apart. Just knock it out. You'd be either in an Excel document saying, okay, this is what happened. This led to this. This led to this. Bing, bing, bing. This person dies here, here, and here, and go, okay, all right. So you understand usually, because everything has a sort of logical, I was gonna say outcome, but there's a reason, there's a logic behind why that happened, right? It's not just, most shitty stories are just like, well, why the hell did that happen, or why did that person just appear out of nowhere?
Right.
Figure out the logic where you're going. Yeah, and then it's just so much easier. And the first chapter is like, yeah, whatever, okay, fine, keep going. You can always go back and tweak it. But if you're just focused on the words, or like, I need to impress somebody, I don't think I'm a good writer. I'm just, I had something to say, so that was, do you think Hitler cared if he was a good writer? No, he had a point to get across. Now I know if you're doing fiction like a Hitman thing, yeah, okay. I'm not preaching to an choir, and sort of that's what I kind of was doing. I had something to say about myself or my viewpoints, and got it onto
Yeah.
Same deal. Who did I? The Turner. You ever hear of the Turner Diaries?
I have not.
Racist, horribly racist novel. But the guy, and anyone who's a legitimate critic was like, yeah, it's crap. Yeah, the writing's crap. But it doesn't matter. He sold 1 million books, going on about the end of the civilization. So yeah, do a Wikipedia search on that.
That's interesting. I've never heard of this. So,
see, that's the part. As an old guy, see, again, I've had decades to go over all this crap.
Yeah,
and then I get to pick and choose, right, what works or what doesn't. So yeah, in fact, that's an interesting thing. as when I was in my 20s, I could never write a novel in my 20s here. And I remember reading someplace that they said that when they asked, do you have advice for a young novelist? It's like, just live, do it, because it comes as an old guy, 40 or 50-year-old. Yeah, I've encountered all the types. I can write about the types. I've been there. Yeah, it's so much easier to go, okay, this kind of person would be there. They would probably say this. These kind of people show up here. So yeah, it's it's an old guy's game. At least it comes easier as an old guy. So there you go.
Now, there's one question that I like to ask everybody right before I end. Have you found fulfillment in all the stuff that you've done in your life? Like, especially with your book writing and stuff. Like, are you finding fulfillment in that?
Kind of like take a nice dump. I mean, there is a fulfillment. You're like, oh yeah, okay, again, it's. If I see here's the thing about being a nihilistic, grumpy old man here. I really don't give a shit. If I was younger, I would definitely give a shit.
Right.
Do they like my writing? Are you going to criticize me? Now it's like, fuck you people. I don't care. I'm getting it out. There it is. And the same deal of like, okay, you haven't seen this thing. Good. Oh, you kids, you're going to love this one here. I'm going to just package it and feed it out to you. So... Again, it's almost like when I was younger, I really was into my music. Oh my God, and art was so important. And I need to create. And again, I never had kids, so to me, my kid is my novel in a sense, where I created that represents me. Where plenty of my little crackpot theory here is most uncreative people. A child is a creative thing. That's a reflection on me, right? That kid, hopefully, it's not going to go fuck you, Dad, when he grows up. But so as a childless, old guy, so I mean, art, has always been there. And maybe it's a compulsion since, like I said, all my artsy-fartsy buddies have stopped doing this. I don't know of very many 62-year-olds, other than if you're a professional, you're just doing it still.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing how it's just random it all was up to here. And then I have to struggle with the fact that I'll be completely obscure. We will all be obscure. I was tormenting myself over this. I was like, okay, what if I had to come up? There's a number probably of what humans we are. I think there's been like some YouTube video where it was like there's been like 100 billion or 60 billion people have now died, right? And that if you had to assign a number, I'm now number 35 billion, 300 blah. No one will give a shit once I'm gone, and no one really cares about art. Ultimately, you're into it on the short term, but it's just like I have to just embrace the void as a nihilist, I guess. That no one will care, no one gives a shit. And that, all those people with crackpot theories, good luck for them. I can't really say this in a sound bite, so this is kind of I would have to work at this. But I can answer one more time. Throw me the question again. Am I satisfied?
Technically, yeah. Are you finding fulfillment in your life?
I think it's the past tense of it, fulfillment, or am I fulfilling my life? Yeah. Fulfillment means like, oh, I'm done. Okay, I fulfilled it. Yes, I don't have to, I don't have to bathe anymore. I don't have to do, and I suppose, young people have actually gotten and I kind of noticed this with people who or celebrities that have been gotten their wish, their fulfillment, right? I am famous. Yeah. I am rich. What do you do now, schmucko? Not that it's a horrible thing to have to suffer from, but I guess it's a thing. So, yeah. I'm trying to be as fulfilled as possible, and I'll take what I get. And as an old guy, there's a John Lennon quote too that life passes you by, or when you're waiting for plans, when you're waiting for your future plans to happen, life is what passes you by. I agree with that. 'Cause I have a whole bunch of plans that have never been fulfilled, that I've waited a long time to be fulfilled. You're right. So 20 years left.
20 years.
I maybe 8 more. I'll be an 82-year-old. It's almost like here, kids. Imagine this, right? So, I have a deck. You're born with a deck of like 100 cards, right? And and when you're young, it's like, I got look at all these cards. Each like card represents like a year of your life. And if you want to go down, how many years? Add 300. If you took, let's say, 100 cards. Anyway, point is, you have a stack of cards that represent a day in your life, right? And you're just like, yeah, I'll work at this shitty job. Yeah, whatever. Okay, I'm just exchanging these cards for money. Yep, I work there. Oh, I can rather go here now. I can exchange this stack. Okay, and I make $10,000. I don't give a shit about that. Yeah, the job is fine. And I've done a lot of that. And all of a sudden now the stack is this. I've got 20 left. I'm like, shit, I have 20. I'm like, all right, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, here you go. I got 20 cards. It's like, all right, what am I going to do with these? Certainly working at McDonald's, spending 5 of these cards working at McDonald's is like, no. No. I've already spent 5 of those cards at McDonald's back in the 70s. So yeah, you really hold on, Again, the end is near, basically, as a 62-year-old, and it's different. I want to be as fulfilled with those 20 remaining cards. I'm going to try to get the most fulfillment out of those 20 cards that are left.
Okay.
There you go. Don't spend those cards, kids. Well, you have to anyway, but all right.
Well, all right.
Right.
But if you don't mind, for the people that might be interested, in finding your books, where can they find them?
Yeah, go to the first book is Strangeness, high-strangeness.net, I believe, right? And then there's higherstrangeness.com or net. Higher Strangeness. I think it's higherstrangeness.net also. So yeah, one is a hyphen, one doesn't. Higher Strangeness. Now, if you want to see baby photos, right? Go to, you ready? adeadguy.com. Yes, I own the domain adeadguy.com. What? It will be I'm willing to wait 20 years. This will be a funny joke, right? Because when somebody reads this website 20 years from now, I'm gone. It will be by a dead guy, right? So I'm willing to wait this out. This is going to be a joke that'll be worth it. And then somehow my words will be much more important. Oh, he's dead. Oh, let's be able to read this. This is important because okay, fine, yeah, I'm dead. Now it's important. What I'm blabbering now on the where WHERE, where the weird ones are. By the way, not WE''RE. We've already had this discussion earlier. Yeah.
You want to know what would be funny? Is if you have a blog on your website, a dead guy website, and you write a whole bunch of them for after you're gone and have somebody post them.
Well, on the website, people have dying people. I've put links to people who have started blogs when they're on a terminal illness. They're like, yeah, okay, let's see what you got to say, pal. You're going to be dead, So I have a bunch of those links, and those seem to have weight. The guy was dead. He knew he was going to be dead.
Interesting.
But again, you go back, no one will care. Yep, another 1,000, 100 years. We're all obscure. So yeah.
Well, all right, Eric. Well, I appreciate you taking the time for come on and to talk. I mean, I had a lot of fun talking to you. Your personality is perfect for.
You should have been here 40 years ago. It was even worse. So you're looking at the old version, the old mellow version of this. Yeah, right.
Well, you still have plenty of energy, it seems like. So, I mean, I enjoyed the conversation, and I appreciate you coming on. It means a lot to me, because if I didn't have people like you to come on, I'd just be talking to myself, and I don't know if that would be entertaining. I mean, not saying that I wouldn't do it. I'm just, I just don't know if people would find that as entertaining.
You do shadow puppets or something. You could have you just have to be you. Just you do. Hello, I'm going to. You can have do hand puppets. So we're facing this way, all right, or something to keep it going. God damn it.
Yeah.
All right.
That'd be interesting. But for everybody listening and watching, if you're interested, please go check out Eric's books. If you don't, I don't think he cares either way.
Won't be surprised.
But please follow, share, subscribe. Help the show grow. Not that I'm interested in having the show grow, because I'm going to have these conversations regardless of it growing or not.
All right.
And
I respect that.
Leave a rating and review if you want to do that. If not, if you want some merch, you know where to go, where the weird ones are podcast.com.
Right.
Other than that, remember, guys, question everything and stay weird.
This concludes our broadcast day. Click.
Because in the end, none of us have very long on this earth. Life is fleeting. And if you're ever distressed, cast your eyes to the summer sky. When the stars are strung across the velvety night, and when a shooting star streaks through the blackness, turning night into day, make a wish.